Hello, this is Mama Jess. Today I am saving seeds for tomatoes, and I wanted you to get in on it. This is by far the most superior way I have ever experienced saving seeds. It's so easy and smart, and just, if you're into permaculture, it just makes sense that you're working with nature and how nature does things. So I think I learned this through Doug and Stacy Off Grid, and they learned it from their Amish community. So I think this is an Amish trick, but I don't remember actually. Either way, it works. I want you to know how to do it this way. So what you're going to want to do at the end of your tomato season, you're going to want to find some of your best looking tomatoes on the plants. I found these. I think these are 2 beefsteak. I have since put them in here, and I'm allowing them to get kind of old. Now this is what I do. I could take an absolutely fresh tomato, but my thinking is that when you think about a tomato that has fallen off the plant and it's out in your garden and it's going to sit all season and rot and deteriorate, and the bugs are going to eat at it, it's going to go through snow, rain, all kinds of natural experiences. And then it always sprouts those wonderful volunteer tomato plants. So what I am doing, and this wasn't even so much like a plan, it's just it worked this way. I had these 2 beautiful tomatoes when I did a really big harvest just recently, and I got an ankle injury and I was laid up in bed, and so they have been hanging out here just rotting away. But I know with saving other things like certain squash, it's good to let them sit for a long time, because in that process they actually, like, the seeds plump up. It's almost like the plant knows, like the fruit knows that it's no longer on the plant. It's going to be dying. The seeds are going to be drawing in moisture and getting as big as they can. It's just a part of God's really rad creation of how he does things. So I'm just going to show you what I got here. This is a tomato, and I'm going to show you how I save it. It's so cool. You don't have to wash the seeds. You don't have to dry the seeds. You don't have to do any of that. So let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so I get a sharp knife because sometimes tomatoes are hard to cut unless it's really sharp. So I've sharpened this. I'm taking my tomato that's rotting. You can absolutely do this with brand new fresh tomatoes right off the plant. That's what I've done before, but right now I'm going to do it this way. I also have more tomatoes that I'm going to harvest, some other varieties, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to be slicing it little thin slices. And I'm going to be laying the tomato, so you can see, like, here's a seed right here, okay? I'm going to be laying the tomatoes directly on the soil that I put in one of my wood seedling boxes. This is how I sprout my seeds, okay? So I'm just literally laying them here on top, okay? I know that the seeds are inside there. Laying it down, laying it down. I've got all of these really beautiful seeds here I have to capture and lay down as well. So I'm gonna slide them off, put them in my hand, and dribble them on, okay? I'll even put this one because I trust there's some seeds in that too. And I've got one more. And I'm going to continue to layer them on the soil. So you can use any pot and just put soil in it. Because I don't have enough to cover the top, I'm actually going to save another tomato when I harvest that one, and I will put it on this side. So I guess I'll have maybe 2 varieties, or I can go back to the same plant and have this be all the same. Then what you do with this, so imagine I have sliced tomatoes all over this. I'm going to wrap this in some kind like a cheesecloth. I don't want to put plastic on it. I want it to be as natural as an experience as possible for the tomatoes. So I want them to breathe, but I also don't want to attract too many critters and gnats and things that like to go at this. They'll still get to it, but at least I'm going to protect it a little bit. So I cover it up like so. I might even take a rope and tie it around pretty snug. Or you could like put pieces of board down, like slats, loose slats that allow it to breathe. But then I'm going to put this underneath my house all fall, winter, into spring. And then when I'm ready to grow my tomato seedlings, I'm going to take this off. They're going to be all dried up and crispy. Okay, by the time you get to it, they're going to look very unappealing. Then I cover it with soil, like a 1/2 inch of soil, and press that down. Start watering it, and you cannot believe the amount of tomato plants that grow out of this. In my experience, every time I've done it, it's this huge, thick forest of tomato plants. And then when they're big enough, I prick them out, dig them out, plant them into like a 4 by 4 inch pot, and these babies grow amazing, beautiful. And it's just so easy. So again, all you have to do, put soil in one of your little planter boxes like this. Slice these tomatoes, lay them over the top, cover them, and forget about them all winter long. Let them go through the cold, through the wind, through all the experience of the temperature. And next season, these babies are going to be ready to be covered with soil, watered, and then they will grow. And it, to me, it's one of the greatest gardening tricks I've ever learned. So because I want you to try this season, you can also buy seeds from a store. You can save them any other way you have liked, whether you put them in like a little colander thing like this. These are actually tomato seeds I pulled off. They were on my counter, and I was like, oh, I want to save those seeds. This was a good tomato. So you can be doing this, like pressing it through and getting all the pulp out and letting them dry, and then grow these as well. But if you're a serious gardener and you want to have a lot of tomato plants, this is the best way to do it. And so yeah, I want you to try it this season, see how it goes. And I just hope you can enjoy this as much as me. It is so exciting. So I always look forward to every new gardening season. Like, this is gonna be so cool. I get to actually watch all these tomato seeds grow. And it's one of the easiest ways to save seeds, because sometimes seeds are not easy to deal with, especially when they're in pods and you have to deal with them. And so I'm actually wondering if I might try this trick with some other, especially like squash. That would probably be a good one. You know, like cucumber. I'm not sure about the brassicas, like broccoli, kale, and that, but it's worth a shot. Just dribble it over, break up the pods, allow the husk to be there, and just when the time comes, put the dirt over and watch it grow. You're literally recreating nature and what would happen out in your garden if you just let the tomato drop on the ground. That's all it is. All right, thank you for your time, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.